Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Hannah. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, thank you for joining me today. This is a regular video for me, sort of project updates, what I'm working on, any acquisitions that I have. My last two videos have been like more successful than any of the other videos I've put out, and so I know there's a lot of new subscribers here, so I just want to say thank you for joining me and for being part of my YouTube experience. I love reading your comments and just hearing about what projects you're working on. I also want to say thank you to so many subscribers that sent me kind notes. My last regular video that I posted, I accidentally uploaded the unedited version, and so yeah, that was really embarrassing to me, and also a lot of content that you guys didn't need to see me repeating myself 3 times till I got it right. But anyway, I fixed it, uploaded the right one after only just maybe 6 or 8 hours, so it was okay. But so many of you guys sent such nice notes, you know, it was insider content, or you felt like you were at my house with me because you could hear, you know, my husband and my son playing, things like that, which was very kind. And someone sent a very nice note, and I won't read it word for word because I forgot to ask for permission, but she sent a very nice note about how it was just a great reminder that you know, we feel a lot of pressure to put out content and perfect content, and we just forget that they're real people, and we're just trying to, you know, put out something uplifting that brings us joy and hope that, you know, it brings other people joy. And so anyway, that was just very, very kind. I was like, oh my gosh, what have I done? Anyway, so moving on from that, if we haven't met, if you're a new subscriber, I am Hannah. I am a mom, and I live in North Carolina with my family, and I knit and I do a little bit of children's pattern design, but I mostly share on here just about my projects and what I'm working on, knitting related, not a lot of personal life content unless you watch my December videos. But yeah, I'll just get started with my finished objects. This first one I have gotten so many comments on. I'm really excited. This is my Stockholm Slipover. I didn't weave in some of the ends, so I need to do that. Yes, this is a Stockholm Slipover, and this is just the back. Of course, I'm gonna know it's the back because, but I knit it in Drops Alpaca, Boucle. Yeah, there's another end. I was too excited. I just wore it with I just stuffed all the ends inside. But I knit it in Drops Alpaca Boucle, and then I used Cascade 220 for the ribbing. This is just worsted weight. I don't think it's the superwash one. So the color is Irish cream for this, and then I think this is beige, maybe undyed beige or something, or beige, I don't remember. So I knit the Stockholm Slipover by Petite knit, and the only modification I made was using the Boucle yarn instead of just regular yarn. And I also did, instead of 1x1 pickup on the neck and the underarms, I did I think I did 4 out of 5, because the alpaca it's very drapey, and it didn't have a lot of structure, and so I was trying to hold it up a little bit more by picking up more stitches. So I think I might need to go back and pick up more around the collar, but I'm really happy with how the underarms turned out. And then I did modify the length a little bit, but you can see the lovely Boucle texture. Boucle is having a moment. I've seen so many yarn dyers announce new bases, or I saw Sorry Nordland is putting out a Boucle pattern, and so yes, I'm really into this. On a related note, my second finished object is this cute little boucle sweater, more boucle. And this is a pattern I just released this week, and it's called the Fluffiest set. So it's a cardigan and a vest in one pattern, because it's a vest and then the cardigan has sleeves. So it felt like they should go together. But I finally finished the second sample. This is the baby size, and I added some extra length here. Yeah, so I had just been putting off doing the second sleeve for a really long time, but I needed it for my release content. I'm also really happy with the buttons I chose. They're just like vintage buttons from my button collection. My mom always picks up buttons at different thrift stores. So yeah, I used Ray Knits yarn. The dyer's name is Sharon, and so a lot of my test knitters got to use her yarn too, which was great. I like this a lot better than the one I used for myself. This is like more, I'm trying to think, this is very like light and airy. It could be because it's alpaca, and Sharon's is superwash wool, which is kind of what I wanted for like a kid's pattern. It just feels like maybe more plush. I don't know, it feels like a luxury version, which I would like my child to have that. But maybe one day I will knit myself one like this. It just feels sturdier too. Like, I definitely think this will probably snag and maybe pill a little bit, because the loops are so prominent, whereas Sharon's, the loops are much like tighter and dense. Yes, you can find this pattern on my Ravelry. If you don't want to use a boucle yarn, I would just size up the yarn weight. So this is DK, I would just use worsted, so that, you know, the boucle adds a lot of texture. So maybe use like a tweed or something fun, because otherwise like it's stockinette. So the boucle yarn is what adds the texture. So I was excited to collaborate with Sharon on it. But yeah, I also used her yarn for this. This is like a Highland DK and a little I-cord. Yep, so I finished this one. And my last one is not boucle, finished object. This is a sweater I knit for my dad. If you've been following along, I think I've talked about it before. So this is a pattern of mine, Micah's Raglan, and I basically just graded it up based on a sweater that I borrowed from my dad's closet to measure. So I just graded it to the size of that sweater. I know I could have picked like a men's sweater pattern, but I actually purchased one that I intended to use, but the finished measurements were so much different than the sweater that he told me was his favorite. And so he hasn't tried it on yet. His birthday is next week, and it's finished. It actually, the sleeves that I was putting off, like I think each sleeve took me a day. I originally made them way too long. I had my mom try it on, and they were so long, so long. So I don't know, I added short row shaping. My pattern doesn't, this one doesn't have short row shaping, so I added some. I don't know if it's enough. All of the men's patterns that I have seen, like Petite Knit or Andrew Mowry, they have, the men's necklines are much tighter, and so I did intend to make it higher, but I'm a little concerned I should have added more shaping. I only did about an inch. Like an inch front neck drop, and that's really not that much. So if I knit it again, I'd probably do more, but hopefully it will fit him okay. I'm anticipating having to maybe do some modifications, like I might need to add some length. As you can see, like the sleeves are a little bit longer than the body. I don't know, I knit it to the measurements I made, but for some reason it's just a little bit, it might be a little bit short, so we'll see. I am anxiously awaiting that to see how much I need to fix it, which is fine. Like, I want him to wear it and for it to be, you know, to fit him and him to feel comfortable, but I want it to fit. So I might just have to take out the ribbing and then redo that. I still have some more yarn. So, oh, the yarn I used Cascade Ecological wool. So, yeah, it's like a worsted weight. It's non-superwash, I think. Yeah, 100% wool. So it worked out well. The skeins came in like they're like 400 or 500 yards. So I used like almost 2. So I have some left in case I need to add more length, and that'll be about 2. So that's my third finished object, all I have today. But now I have my works in progress, and then after I'll share my acquisitions. So my first work in progress, this is my Cambys sweater by Tete Beche, and she did it with Brooklyn Tweed. And wow, it looks so good, you guys. I'm so happy. I actually blocked it. That's why it looks so crisp. I need to take a picture while it looks like this. It looks really good. Wow. Just the blocking, like, magical. Okay, so I shared about this like in my, you know, what I'm gonna knit and whatnot in 2023. But this is a pattern I had my eye on for like since it came out. Since it was like an individual release, I have wanted to knit it, and I used Retrosaria Rosa Pomar, her Vovo, and it's in the color light pink. I got it from U Fibers. They had a wonderful end of year sale. And so yes, I have used Vovo before, and so I knew that it was something I would want to have in my closet. It's actually like one of the best wearing sweaters, like in terms of durability, I guess, because I wear it all the time, and it like doesn't pill and it doesn't snag or whatever. So hopefully this one is the same. But the reason I blocked this after I split the body is because I didn't swatch for it. I know that's like against, like, I didn't ever swatch for a long time. Then none of my things fit. Casual, like, it's fine, I'm comfortable with any fit, like, it's not a big deal. That's still true, like, that's still my feelings. But I want to anticipate how it will fit as I'm making it. And so I have been swatching consistently for like a year and a half, 2 years, I don't know, a long time, because I want to know, like, okay, if it's a worsted weight yarn and I'm off by like 3 stitches, that is not okay. If it's a fingering weight yarn and I'm off by half a stitch, that's fine with me. I don't really mind that, like, the change that would cause. And so anyway, I feel like as I've been designing and knitting more, I've been more comfortable understanding, like, what does this gauge change, and like how will it change the fit, that kinds of things. So I think I just want to know, what is it going to be like. So anyway, I didn't swatch for this because it said to swatch in pattern, and the swatch wasn't, like, the pattern wasn't available before purchase. I don't love that. Anyway, I won't go on that tangent. But so yeah, so it's a swatch in pattern. I was kind of like, I don't want to make a swatch in the pattern. I thought that it meant like this. And so I was like, I am not working on all these cables to see if this will work. I'm just gonna cast on and knit, you know, like 4 inches and see if it works, because I feel like, you know, swatching in the round, all of that takes a long time when you're doing like cable work. And so yeah, anyway, it turns out it was just this pattern, which would have been really easy, but I like didn't read that. And so anyway, it met gauge. Long story short, you should definitely swatch still, but when it says swatch in pattern, it's more difficult. But this is a success story so far. I haven't tried it on to see, you know, what it looks like on, but it met the measurements for the size that I chose, and the amount of ease I wanted. So this is the back, looks the same. But yeah, it's like, whew, very cute. I'm really liking it. I think I will wear this if we do like a Valentine's dinner this year. I'll wear it for Valentine's Day. Okay, enough about that. Another work in progress is my Moby sweater. I feel like everyone's knitting a Moby sweater right now. Oh, it's not in here. Okay, well, I'll put a picture, and I don't have it with me. I shared it in my last video. I can't always get to my knitting because my husband works in the basement. I thought I had it up here, but it's okay. I shared about it in my what I'm knitting in 2023 video. And basically my dilemma was that I wasn't necessarily happy with like how the color and the texture were working together. So I was holding together a strand of mohair and a strand of non-superwash wool, and I felt like the cables just weren't defined with the dark color and like the mohair and the non-superwash wool. It just was not popping out. So I've put that on hold right now, and I am just gonna think about it for a while. I think I might take it out and switch it for the Ingrid sweater if I'm wanting to do another textured sweater. If I take it out and don't want to do a textured sweater, I don't know yet what I'm gonna do. So I'm using Purl Soho Good Wool and Knitting for Olive soft silk mohair for that, and it's like a darker combo, so I'm really not sure I'm loving the texture, but we'll see. There's time for me to fix it. I will wear this sweater, whatever I make, I will wear it for a long time, so it's okay if I finish it in the fall and not now. Okay, my last work in progress. Oh wait, no, I have two more. It's right here. I have another one I'm working on. Since I loved my Stockholm Slipover so much, I decided to make my mom one, and it's intended to be her birthday gift, but her birthday's in the summer, and so I kind of want to make it now, but I haven't made any progress on it in a while. I did this in like 2 days, and then I put it aside to just like work on my launch, and so I haven't made any progress on it, but I think this is just going to be a classic for her. It is such a beautiful cream color. It's actually the same yarn I used for my dad. It's Cascade Ecological wool. This is the white undyed color. Yeah, Stockholm Slipover Petite knit. So I have finished like the back panel, but I haven't finished I haven't done like any picking up for sleeves or anything. So we shall see how it goes. It has a lot of fuzzies on it I put a lot of projects in the same bag. Anyway, yeah, my Moby sweater's not in here either. Gotta find that. Anyway, so I'm working on that for her. Now my last work in progress. This is something I am so excited about. See that? Not really coming through. Ah, there we go. Okay, so this is the beginning, the very humble beginnings of a Prism blanket by Purl Soho. I'm making the crib size. So this is for the Prism blanket knit along. The cast on day isn't until January 20th, but Purl Soho kindly sent me the yarn for this, and so I already had it, and so I thought I would go ahead and get started because I mean, it's a big blanket, and so I want to like actually finish it by the end of the knit along. So basically, I love good wool. I know you've heard that if you're on here. So it's probably not for everyone, but I really love it. It's like a non-superwash, sort of like DK sport weight, which is like kind of my favorite size to knit with, because it's quicker than figuring weight, but it's like feels more sturdy maybe perhaps than like a bulky or an Aran weight. So anyway, it's like a happy yarn for me. So I've knit a lot of things with this, and they very kindly reached out and said, we know you love good wool. Can we send you some for our project or for our knit along? And so yes, please. I would love that. I would love to join. So anyway, I have high hopes that I will finish this. So my colors that I picked, this is Pink Dawn. This is a main color, and then Vintage Rose. So these are my two main colors. And then my contrast colors, I have this, which is Walking Stick, Driftwood Gray. Oh, it's so soft and squishy. Heirloom White. So yes, I have like these undyed, these are their undyed colors, and then these are dyed. So I had a lot of trouble picking out the colors because I wanted something that was like, the blanket itself is like bright and colorful and exciting, and I want that in my life, but I also wanted something that I felt like would be kind of cohesive with our home or life, I don't know, that kind of thing. So Anyway, I went for a mix. And yeah, I'm excited to see how it turns out. It's really cool. They have like coloring, like you can color in your main color and contrast color and see what your blanket will look like. So I'm definitely going to do that because I don't like to be surprised, like I said earlier, with how things turn out for my knitting. Oops, all my yarn just fell on my microphone. Okay, there we have like a couple of things where we'll be driving in the car between now and the end of the knit along for a long time. And so I'm like, okay, I think I will have some time, like some dedicated car knitting time, because this is like a good car project. It's stockinette. Well, it's not stockinette. It's like garter. You knit. It's just all knit, right? And it makes it so squishy. Plus, it will be a blanket, so I can put it on my lap when like other people in the car want to turn the AC on and I'm cold. So I can wrap up in it. Kind of a win-win for a car project. So yes, Purl Soho Prism blanket knit along that I'm participating in. Yeah, and that kind of counts as an acquisition, I guess, because I've gotten that since last time. And then I have a few other acquisitions that were gifted at Christmas that I haven't shared yet. In the theme of Purl Soho, my sister gifted me this Purl Soho puzzle. I am a big puzzle girl, so this is perfect. It's 1,000 pieces. She's so funny. She's like, I'm sorry, I don't think it's in Goodwill. I don't know what yarn this is. I'll have to look up the blanket to see. It almost looks like linen quill, but I can't tell. Maybe I'll look it up right now. Wow, you guys, it is linen quill. Should I be proud or embarrassed? I'm proud. Yep, that's what it is. So anyway, so she got me, you can see my ring light. She got me this lovely puzzle for Christmas. I can't wait to do it. It's a little hard to do puzzles with my son hanging out, but I think I'll take it to the beach this year. And we can do it then. Yes, I'm very excited. Okay, the last acquisitions I have, one is yarn, two are not yarn, but I'll do the yarn. My sister also kindly gifted me this beautiful skein of cashmere merino bloom in this purple, and I'm kind of obsessed with the color. It's lilac quartz, so soft, so beautiful. I don't know what I'm gonna make yet, but I think it's gonna be a hat. Oh yeah, that looks nice. I like it. So anyway, yes, thank you, Abby. And then the last two things were from my mom. This is a sweater stone. It's for removing pilling. So my garments do pill a lot because I wear them a lot. So, and the last thing, these are so cute, you guys. My mom got me some stitch stoppers, and they're Mickey. Okay, there we go. Maybe I can't tell if that worked, but anyway, so they're Mickey. Yes, so I'm very happy with these. We do love Mickey in our house. I think I was sharing about how I got a Merry Mickey skein in the mail, and now I want to make it into something for my son, like Mickey hat. Anyway, I'm sure in a couple of weeks I'll have something on here to share that's Mickey related, but for now I have these. So that's all my yarn stuff for today. Thank you guys for watching. If you've made it all this way and you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Send me a comment if you would like. Let me know what you're working on right now, or if you have any new projects that you cast on for 2023. I will see you guys soon. You can also find me on Instagram. I'm most active on Instagram. I also have a newsletter that goes out like once a month, maybe, whenever I release a pattern as well. But yeah, those are the best places to find me. And I hope you have a lovely weekend. Happy knitting.